Well, 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 look who's back. You guys. And here's my new to me car. It's a 1984 Mercedes 300D turbo diesel. I got this in exchange for some work that I've been doing, primarily on that Porsche that I posted last week. By the way, part 2 is coming out next Monday if you guys are interested. Today I've got a little bit of work to do. I've got the front left brake caliper and pad swap to do. I've got all that in the trunk. We're going to replace a door latch and maybe change the power steering fluid. I think I have enough to do that. And I have a new power steering fluid filter for that. We'll put this on the lift here momentarily, but I do want to take care of this door striker thing because I don't know if you can tell, but well, let me show you. It's kind of like a square body Chevy. You know, you keep doing that. So, yeah. Got a new striker for it. Does it have 4-door? No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's just getting just a little wore out, but that's all right. We got a brand new one. We'll see if it works. We'll see if we can get the screws out. That could be kind of fun. Otherwise, this car is in actually pretty good shape, other than kind of a, you know, the door catch is a little noisy, but you know, solid car. This lever back here is a little funny. And I'm missing a screw, I can see there, and I'm missing a switch. Still shuts like a vault though. And the trunk. Works good. And these doors here, this window works, this one kind of does. I've got to try and get it back up. I love how they sound. Like it shuts beautifully. Let's get into the old power barn here, shall we? There's usually a little plastic release here, but you just gotta get in here, grab a little dabber, cut your finger open every time. I think I might either cut or shave down that plastic or try and, maybe I'll just make something to pull on that mechanics wire, you know. So I did do some things off camera. I ordered a brand new air filter for it because the old one was pretty gross. So the new one, I ordered a man filter for it. That's what this car would come with when it was new. So it has a brand new OEM filter in it. I have new fuel filters and oil filters on the way. So I'll change the oil at a later date. Right now it's got oil in it. It's not having any issues there. But let me show you what I have done to the injection pump. Right here is your Allen Alda. Just kidding. It's called the ALDA, and it's basically all it does is it gets boost pressure from the turbocharger, and that basically tells the fuel pump, hey, we need a little bit more fuel, so it'll up the fuel rate. This thing was set from the factory, and it made it feel like a total turd off the line. It was just very, you know, it just wasn't all that great throttle response wise. So what I did is I popped the tamper-proof cap off of it and just backed this out probably about, I don't know, 3 turns. And in doing so, gave it a lot better off-idle performance. So it actually takes off kind of like a normal car. What I will be doing, and I have the piece on order, should be here sometime this week, we'll be pulling this off, temporarily plugging the port in the back until I can get a boost gauge. But we'll be plugging that off, and then this piece we're going to remove, and we're going to keep just in case we ever need it again. We'll keep that, and then there's a little cap that screws in here, and it allows this injection pump to have full fuel throughout its throttle range. and that'll give us a really, really good throttle response and you know, half decent power. Doesn't do anything for peak power, as they say, but I just want to improve the off-idle performance. Anyways, that'll be another video here in a few weeks for you guys. Pretty neat. Let's replace that door striker, shall we? Yeah, that'll be our first thing to do today. So here's the new door striker here. Forgot where I ordered this from. I think I got it from Parts Geek or something, but it's made by Euro Parts. So it does look like we got the right one. Yeah, I ordered it for the driver's side, front driver. Can you guys see where I'm working? Yeah. I'll probably zoom you in a little bit. We'll get some light in here. Let's see, I think we're gonna be metric on this. I'm just gonna borrow one of their tools. I don't know where all my metric stuff is. It doesn't look like anybody's tried to monkey with it. Are we gonna be a 5mm? How about a rusty one for an extra good fit? That looks like a 5mm. Let's see if we can't crack these free. So how do we... So it went like that. I don't want to strip it out. Gotta be careful of that. It's still kind of the same thing. But I mean, it does latch pretty good. Feels about the same. Let me see if I can shut it. And here, I can. Slight firm little slammage there. But I couldn't do that before at all. So let's snug this up. I think that's gonna do it. It's better than it was. Yeah, I'll take that. So in the old one, there's a little rubber piece here, probably just like a little damper or something. And then you have a tapered brass sleeve in there. It looks okay, but whatever. And then it's all rubber, whatchamacallit, you know. Getting old. You guys have not heard this puppy run. This is probably the best running old car I've ever had. Hopefully that battery's still good. I think that door might need a little adjustment, but I'll let it break in. All right, so when I got this car, by the way, this is the only dent it has in it. When I got this car, this brake caliper was locked up pretty good. And so the wheel would not spin like this. It felt like the brake was partially applied. And then it got so hot that it melted the brake pad wear indicators, which I'm not running anymore on this, and it doesn't throw any lights on the dash. So you don't need to have those if you don't want them. So I put a new caliper hose and a set of Bendix brake pads in it, and that's been working fantastic. Now, I'm glad I bought a caliper for both sides, because let's go take a look at the driver's side. And also, if you want to know how to tell if your brakes are sticking or dragging too much, when you stop driving, put your hand up against the wheel. Like, this is lukewarm. And then when that side was locked up, it was hot. This tire is already warm to the touch. This wheel is probably about 80 degrees. And look at that. Yeah, so that caliper is junk. Now this car, after doing the other side, has been pretty good about, maintaining like 60 miles an hour, which is all I need it to do. Because that's part of my commute going to and from work, is doing 60. Occasionally I might go a little faster, but I really just care if this thing does 60 and gets like 25 miles to the gallon. I'm happy. With this wheel dragging like that, it's gonna make the car feel heavy. The brakes are gonna eventually fade because it will boil the brake fluid, and then you lose your brake pedal. Also, this drag, which I'm surprised it doesn't pull the car left or right. This drag is just not, it's not good for the performance of what's available. 17 millimeter. I'm actually going to do a little tire rotation on this girl. These are light. I like it. That tire is wearing a little bit on the inside, so that's kind of not good. So I'll rotate the tires. Yeah, and I've got almost nothing left for brake pads. KYB shocks. It's got them all the way around. We got some new hoses. All right, we got a new caliper here. Let's go ahead and put our line on. Get that part over with. Okay, I'll go get a wrench and I'll just tighten that up real good. Cool. Oh yeah, when you guys, when you're doing your brakes, make sure that you put the caliper on the right or the correct side. So like this is going on the driver, it's mounting like this. So you should have this bleeder at the top, and that's important because when you go to push fluid through this and get the air out of this caliper, because air is going to rise, you need this to be on top. Otherwise, you'll never bleed your brakes. Also, don't forget to write on your AMG logo. It's important for the performance of this car. Here are the new brake pads. Bendix, it was 20 bucks for the deal here. Yeah, and these are all, they're the same, so they just drop right in. That's why I love the brakes on these Mercedes cars, because if your caliper's good, all you got to do is just pop all your stuff out, and then you're good to go. Okay, we'll undo the 10 millimeter holding this guy on. This holds the main little deal for your sensors. I don't know that I can get these out without breaking them. And the way these work is when you're, see, like this one is pretty much trash. It's melted and it's gonna start wearing into it. Once it wears into it, it makes a ground and turns the light on. And you know what? As a mechanic and someone who knows this car, I really don't care about brake pad wear indicators. I always change my pads before I even get to that point, so whatever. Now, I'll let this dangle off somewhere. I do bolt these back on just so that all the hardware's there, and if I do want to put sensors in, I can get the sensors, and it's literally, you know, a matter of just pulling the wheel off and boop, boop, popping some new ones in there. All right. These haven't been off in a while. That's locked on there pretty good. Let's get our pry bar and fork with it. There we go. Oh. Wow. There was little bits of brake pad coming off of it. Yeah, those are toast. Okay, if you guys don't like letting your calipers hang by the hoses, even though you have new ones and you kind of don't care, or if you're doing service to your car and you do care, you get one of these little hooks and the sway bar in here, provided by Mercedes, makes for a nice little hanging point. So you can hang it here while you mess with that. We'll probably hang it off somewhere else. Let's go ahead and put the new one in. Pads, the brake calipers came with a hardware kit. I'll put links down in the description for everything that I bought. Yeah, the rotors are relatively in good shape. They've got, I'll eventually end up replacing them, but I say that and I never do. They look okay. We'll probably need to go through and repack the bearings and stuff. So if I ever get to that point, I'll just order rotors. I think they're cheap enough. I'll pop this on. And then we'll torque this to Guten tight. Like that. Yep, give yourself a compressed spinal cord, torquing that down. So here's the hard part. Just kidding. Brake pad. Remember, friction material needs to make contact to the brake rotor. Don't put it in like this. So I'm doing the inner right here. You can totally do this wrong. So don't do that. You put it in like that. Like a cassette tape, if you ever remember those, or an 8-track. I know I'm only 33, but I did have an 8-track player, so I don't want to hear anything about age stuff. Anyways, we get that in there. And then we'll take one of our new little shiny pins, and also if you want to, you can put brake grease and stuff in here to eliminate noise, or if you live in a crappy climate like anywhere in the Rust Belt, you'll want some grease in here, like on the back sides of the pads where they touch the pistons and this hardware here. I'm not going to do that because I left all that at home and this was already bone dry and didn't make any noise. I like to start with this bottom one. You get this in, kind of hooks into your deals there. And I just hold that and I take my hammer and just give it a little tippy tap. And then we can take our locking pliers and use that as a spacer and hammer that in flush. Then you have this anti-vibration, anti-rattle plate. I like to hook that in there. Get it up against the pads. Take my next pin and do the same thing, only holding the pad down so the pin goes over it. And then making sure it's flush. So that's what it should look like when you're done. Get that pin in first, hook this in, and then you hold this down with your finger, get the pin in and over it, and then just tap it in until it's flush. It could go in a little bit more, so you can take like a screwdriver or something, get that in there, and then tighten it or hammer it in more. All right, I'm unable to get that brake line undone. So I'm going to reuse the old hose, which is still in good shape. It's not collapsed or anything. But what I'm going to do is, I'll come back to this later to replace the hose. I'll get a new nut for it, and we'll just cut that line, and then we'll just pull some down. I'll reflare it with a new nut, then reflare it. and then we'll put the new hose in. Otherwise, this is making me mad. We'll just unthread this. The bleeder on this is a 9mm. I'm gonna go get a little wrench. We'll crack it free and then pop the hood back open, and we'll keep an eye on our brake master cylinder. Keep it topped off with fluid, and we'll just let this run out. And then once we get a nice little constant stream, I'll close it off and I'll pump the brakes and let the fluid push everything together where it needs to be, top off the master cylinder, and then we'll let it bleed out again. And it should gravity bleed half decent. This car's been pretty nice, but now that I say that, I probably just jinxed myself. Okay, we'll let that flow out eventually. It's nice to see new brake calipers and stuff. I like that. I feel a lot better. I mean, you guys saw how bad the old pads were. That one had like nothing. Hey, I can reach him with my pinky and not get lacerated. That's pretty neat. This car has needed a brake flush, something fierce. I kind of want to see if we can get the rear bleeders free and flush that fluid out, because this stuff looked murky. Looked a little Jeff Merkley. Master cylinder over here is a little, you know, vintage. What's nice about not being able to take this car up too high, and I only take it as high as my floor stands will go, because I let the lift sit on that. This puts the car at a perfect working height, like especially if I'm doing stuff up here. It really takes the strain off my back. I'm really jealous of the shop, and no, it's not mine. I wish it was. If I could afford a home, I would buy this place from them, because they're eventually going to sell it. Which annoys me, because then I won't have a shop where I can work in peace. Okay, that's pretty well full. We got a nice little drip there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close up this bleeder, and I'm going to give the brakes a nice little pump and see how our pedal feels. Just let that flow. The pedal firmed up after it, it closed in on the rotor there, and then it firmed up real nice. So we'll let that dribble out. What I did on the other side is I watched this dribble, and then I looked for any like air pockets. Sometimes you can see an air pocket come out and like spray a little bit of fluid. We might be good on this side. I'm just gonna let the master cylinder get kind of like halfway. I'll close that off, and then we'll dump some fluid in, and then test the brake pedal. If it locks up nice and hard, then we're good. Let's see what we got going on back here. No air sensors back here. I've got a leaky differential. KYV's back here. Gonna have to do CVs. The boots are pretty well toast. The fuel is easy to get to, that fuel line. And all I'm gonna do is I'll open this up, and I'm just gonna let it flow. What? No way. It came free. We got fluid. Nice. Alrighty, I got all 4 wheels back on. This rear passenger is flushed out. I was gonna do the rear driver, but that bleeder screw is rounded off, and I'm gonna put new calipers and pads back there regardless, so I'm gonna leave that side alone. We're topped off on brake fluid. It's got fresh fluid in that master cylinder now, so I'm sure that's gonna go bad at some point. This side I did at home off camera. It's got new caliper, pads, hardware, new hose. The other side, which I showed you, front driver, we did caliper, pads, hardware, but the hose I'll have to do at a later time when I get a couple of parts, so I can get a new fitting on there, reflare it and whatnot. The hose is fine. It's fine. So now, before this tire would lock up, it would just be locked up. Then, as you saw before we started on this side, this would, not totally locked up, but it was stiff. Yeah, now she's good. All right, so back here we have really good pads. We have calipers that are not locking up. So both sides spin with equal resistance. That's just the pads kind of dragging on it. So I'm gonna call that good for now. Since there's probably about 50%, maybe 60% brake pad material left on both sides and wearing evenly, we'll leave that alone for now. But at some point, when I come back to doing brakes, like maybe rotors or something, we can refresh that with maybe some new rotors. Actually, I'll probably just pad slap it like I did the front and the back here. The rotors are in good shape, so I think just pads, calipers, and hoses, and I'll take care of that. For right now, it's not broke, so I'm not going to fix it till it's broke. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get under there and find the drain bolt for the steering box. Supposedly there is one. I'd like to drain the power steering fluid, put my new filter in, and top it off with new fluid. Spray away. Let's just clean these up a little bit. That looks a little better, doesn't it? So far, despite some old age stuff here, like the brakes just needing some attention, this car's been pretty good to me. Hell, I think even the battery came around. I still got a new one coming in. But, these wheels can use a refinish, but I'm not too worried about it. Hey, I don't want to make it too nice. Actually, I do kind of want to make this car kind of nice, but just having the wheels kind of cleaned up a little bit makes me feel better. Yeah. We'll clean the other two, and then we'll tackle that power steering. Oh, look, it's got a GM style AC compressor. Oh, did you guys hear that? Oh. Let's see. I haven't been under this thing like this, so what do we got going on? Got a steering shock, probably needs to be replaced. We got the factory exhaust, no Cadillac converters. Pretty sure at some point I'll have to rebuild the whole front end. But, for right now, other than the steering box being a little loose, it's not too bad. Because it's a diesel, leaks a little bit, so the underside of this car is in really good shape. We got floors. Not much to it. Kinda like it. Not kinda, I really like it. There's our transmission. Might have a small leak on the side. I'll eventually do a service on it. We're looking good over here. Yeah. So I don't know what size it is, but I'll figure that out here in a momento. But we've got that bolt right there. I don't have my GoPro with me. I had to charge it and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. So that plug right there, we need to get that off, and then we can let it drain. Let's go up top, pull that cap, and I'll show you what our fluid looks like. We got a little bit of rust there. Overall, it's pretty solid. It's got rust in spots that don't matter. What's that thing? Oh, that's for the AC. I wonder if it's like, if it has any kind of left in it. If it does, I can get a belt for it and maybe charge it up. That'd be nice to have working AC. Does that compressor even turn? It turns easily by hand, so there might be some luck to be had here. Get this off, and then okay. We'll come back to that. So we're gonna. Now this has got a little spring on it. We'll just undo this. Get that cap off. We have a seal that's still pliable. All right, I'm gonna hold this. Yeah, see how it's spring loaded? Hold on to that. Yeah, let's get that drained out, and then we'll get our old filter out. Anyways, I got a 12 and a 13. I'm gonna go under there, and you're gonna watch that delicious looking fluid drain out. Let's see, I put a 13 on it, that fit kind of weird. Let's put a 12 on it. 12 fits beautifully. Nothing's coming out. Let me get a screwdriver if I got some sludge. Or do we need to get the filter out? Oh yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see that media there. There's dirt and stuff in there. Yeah, dirty, dirty, dirty power steering fluid. Good news is, we got the same filter. Nothing's coming out. Do I need to rotate the wheels? There we go. Yeah. Did she leak a little bit? I think she did. Yeah, I've seen worse power steering fluid. It's nice to get that crap out. You know, after a while it just gets so dirty and acidic and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll let that drain and plop her new filter in and we'll top her off. See all this black, you got like just dirt. It's kind of nice that it catches dirt and stuff, so that's pretty neat. It's varnished a little bit. And it looks like there's debris, like some kind of material inside the filtering media, but that's okay. We got a brand spanking new one. All right, let's fill her up. I think we can Let's go ahead and let's drop our new filter in there. Okay, that's in there. I just used a little bolt here as an alignment pin, and that is in. Can actually go ahead and tighten this down. Okay, snug that up. Got the plug is back in it. All right, and I'll just rotate the wheels a little bit, lock to lock, and we'll just try and purge any air out. There. She's sucking it down. You hear that ka-chunk, ka-chunk? That's the steering box. It's like a Ford. I'm already used to, you know, that playing the steering. What was our original fluid level? Where'd it go? Oh, it's right here. I think we were something like that. Yeah, let's get some fluid on that V-belt. We'll fire it up. We'll run the steering back and forth. And then we'll check the level, top off. And we'll be good to go. Oh yeah, sucked it right down. What you saw me do there is move the steering wheel back and forth several times, and that'll, while with it running, that'll let the pump purge all the air out. Seal. Let's see what we look like now. There's probably going to be some foamage, which I did see a little bit. Okay, that took it down quite a bit. What I'll do is I'm going to fill it to like the very bottom of this, like basically right here. And I will check it again later, but I think she'll be good on fluid. Yeah, that should be good. Leave a little bit of room for some air. Almost out of this bottle of power steering fluid here. So weird thing is, when this was turning to the left, it was really tight at the very end, but now it's like butter. So, old girl needed a service. Hey, it's a hybrid plug-in. It's got a block here. Don't know if it works. Tempted to try it. Haven't needed it. You hear how fast this thing starts up? Especially when it's stone cold, they just... I'm missing a badge here. I want to get that. I like all my badges on my cars. Except for my Subaru, which, if you guys remember that, built it for the Gambler, that's been sold. To fund servicing this thing. I gotta get new headlights. These things suck, and I want to get new ambers for here because I like them. That is it. Another video, we might go for a drive. I'm gonna do some other stuff to it. I'm gonna take this for a little spin, which is basically going back home, and I'm gonna let the brake pads kind of settle in. I double checked the brake pedal. It's rock solid after bleeding that right rear. So we're done there. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to do for this video, is get this thing kind of fixed up a little bit, you know, get this locking up brake caliper and crappy pads, just, you know, fire those into the garbage bin and get a new caliper that it will actually retract. This could have original calipers, who knows? I don't even know, and my friends who gave me the car don't even know, or at least I haven't really asked, but whatever. So we got new front brakes, minus the rotors, but new front brakes. We got good brakes in the rear. We've got fresh power steering fluid. We've got a new power steering fluid filter. I, off camera at home, put a brand new MAN air filter in there. I'll put a picture up right now what the old one looked like. Up next would be like oil change and fuel filters. I'm still waiting on that stuff. Who knows, it could be at the house right now. But yeah, so over the next few months, I'm going to be making videos on this, getting it, you know, how I like it. I definitely want to do radio and speakers and stuff like that, and probably put a vegetable oil, fry oil, fuel tank setup in there. So yeah, there's plenty of videos coming up on this. This will be my new daily driver going to and from work and wherever else I need to be. So hopefully the automatic holds up. Otherwise we're gonna have to source a new one or try and get that one rebuilt. I want to keep this car automatic because I am tired of manuals in stop and go traffic, especially in cars. My trucks, fine, or at least my brown truck. But anyways, I'm rambling on. The battery is dying on the camera and I gotta go. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like, or wherever the buttons are, just click all those. See y'all later.